Tēnā tātou te whānau, ko wai tēnei e tūake nei, ko ngai tā manuhiri, ko rongo whakaata, ko te aitanga mahaki, ko te whānau āiwi, ko Ngāri ki kai pūtahi, ko Ngāti Porou, ko te aitanga hauiti, ko te whānau apanui, ko te whakatohia, ko Aubrey ria tēnei. Tēnā tātou.
Aubrey, we want to ask you some questions to get to know you to start off with. So first question is, what is your favourite food and who cooks that food?
My favourite food is kai moana, so no need to be cooked, but my husband goes out to the moana and gets it for me. So kai moana, definitely.
What would you say your secret talent is?
My secret talent? I don't know. I'm a mama superhero, I suppose, like just juggling. I do a lot of different contract works and now all the council stuff, marae responsibilities, hapu and whānau responsibilities, and also a mama of 4. So my special talent is probably being able to manage and balance all of those things.
Rugby or football?
League. Not rugby or football, I will say league, definitely.
If you could wave a magic wand over tairawhiti and fix one thing, what would that one thing be?
Oh, there's so many things to fix right now. My campaign really is based on oranga wai, oranga whenua, oranga tangata, because I believe that when you approach it holistically and when we do gains, whether small or big, in the areas of water health, environmental land health, and also the health of people and the well-being of people, that there's nothing that we can't achieve as a community.
Why are you running for Māori Ward?
Māori Wards is not something I ever saw myself running for, but it is something I've advocated for in the past. So just here at Te Poho Rawiri Marae, our tipuna Rawiri Teke Tū, who this beautiful whare is named after, he signed the treaty on our behalf and he signed it with Aira. And so we took a look back and it's been 7 generations from him to me, and there's been a lot of sacrifice in terms of the intentions that we as Māori believed the treaty would mean for us. And so 7 generations of working towards those goals, Māori Wards seems to me to be something that can greatly enrich and enhance the relationships that we've been trying 8 generations to establish. So that's a big pusher for me, and also just to follow through on the kaupapa of Māori Wards, because I did make a submission. I actually first went around to try and find someone else that I could go and support towards their Māori Wards journey, and then was asked by my whānau here at the marae if I would consider running for Māori Wards, and after a long hard conversation with my children and my husband and my immediate whānau, they got in and supported me. So it makes it a lot easier on this journey when you have the support of your whānau hapu iwi.
What do you bring to the council table?
I think what I bring to the council table is that I'm a really effective communicator. Being a teacher in the past and also a radio DJ for about 10 years, talking is something that I've had to do through all of the jobs, explaining things, creating relationships with people, with students, with organisations, and a fresh perspective too. I have I'm really deeply enriched and entrenched in the Māori community of Tūranganui-a-Kiwa, and also out in some of our rural areas. I have a strong connection to all of my marae and all of my whānau, which represent us at all of those marae. So I think that that's something that hasn't been at the council table, and that's something that is definitely needed with the introduction of Māori Wards.
Who do you see as our at-risk community in Tairawhiti, and how can the council and yourself help those communities?
There are many at-risk groups here in Tūranganui-a-Kiwa, but if I'm to speak on where we're standing right now, then the Kaiti community is definitely an at-risk community, and at risk of many, many different things. And I think that those issues and those risks don't only sit within the Kaiti community, that they're familiar in a lot of our communities throughout Turanganui-a-Kiwa. So if we can create some strategies in order to help them better manage, better cope, supply better resources, put in some funding, and working collaboratively with community groups that are already making a difference in those spaces for our at-risk groups. I believe in working from the ground up, that if we can see what the problems are on the ground and work with people on the ground to find solutions, then a ground up process always has far greater benefits for the community as a whole, as opposed to an up-down process where we sit at a point and we look down and think, oh, this will fix that and this will fix that, without having any real relationships or communication with the people who sit on the ground and the people who are immediately affected by the change that we make there.
If you get elected into council, what would be something that that is personal to you that you will do?
So oranga wai, oranga whenua, oranga tangata are definitely the three areas that I would like to concentrate on if elected to council. Working in a taiao space with environmental management, or with a lot of our iwi and hapu Jobs for Nature funding contracts, who are working tirelessly, puku mahi, towards the regeneration of waterways and whenua and all of those things, and also seeing the social development growth within our kaimahi who decide to get in and work on the whenua. I think any strategy, any initiative, any kaupapa that can contribute positively to oranga wai, oranga whenua, oranga tangata is definitely a kaupapa that council should get in behind and support.
What does that ultimately look like to you? What does that finished product, or what does the big dream look like for you?
The big dream for me is healthy, happy homes, warm homes, safe homes. It's good roads for access for all of our communities, especially our state highways, especially for our rural communities who are a bit more isolated, I suppose, in terms of where they are in the community. And it means jobs, it means good jobs to be able to support. If we're creating housing, we really need to create communities where people who now have an opportunity of getting a house also have an opportunity of having a good, decent job that can support them and their whānau as they live in that house. So there's all of the oranga tangata things that those would be my ultimate dream, and then also all of the environment things. I always go back to my oranga tangata, oranga wai, oranga whenua. If I could put a magic wand over Turanganui-a-Kiwa right now, we'd have no sewage in the bay. We'd have beautiful riparian planting along all of our major waterways at least. We'd have water environment and land environment teams working collaboratively to have better outcomes for the Tairāwhiti Rohe as a whole.
Are you anti-vax or anti-mandate?
I'm neither nor. I believe that people have an individual choice to make, but I also believe that some of the mandate issues are a necessity. So I'm nor pro nor against. I myself choose to be vaccinated. I choose to vaccinate my children, and I have whānau who chose not to for their own reasons, and I respect those reasons. But I also respect why some of the mandates have been put in place, because I do believe in protecting our most vulnerable in the community.
If you could sum yourself up in one word, what would that one word be?
One word. Puku mahi. I'm extremely hardworking, so extremely hardworking and extremely passionate.